This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the G-Spot Podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things spirit.
You might hear some, I guess it's nature too, if they're doing construction, right? Construction workers are a part of nature. So, yeah, just want to give you a heads up. You might hear some sounds. I'm not in the studio today. Guys, we've got a new sponsor. They're not new. They're new because we're shifting gears this month to Apothecary, which I've featured in past podcasts, and I love this gal. She's an ex-Wall Street banker who found Ayurveda and fell in love, and we love Apothecary. We love supporting women-owned businesses. I think Apothecary is one of the best Ayurveda companies out there who are really catering to newbies to Ayurveda. They're hilarious. I have their Apothecary Classic set, and I really enjoy it because it's super full of adaptogens. And what people don't know about adaptogens, well, some people know, but I didn't know, and a lot of people don't know, is that they adapt. And so when you put these herbs like ashwagandha or shatavari or tulsi or turmeric in your body, they don't just go in and do what they want. They go in and they connect with you and communicate with you, and they adapt themselves to your needs, which is crazy that plants are so wise and love us so much. I really genuinely believe that. So Apothecary, we've got a link to them in the show notes. It's apothekary.co. So get the special link we've got for you guys and check them out. Get their Apothecary Classic set. It's hilarious. The titles are Better Than Botox, Slay All Day, Follow Your Gut, Haters Say It's Photoshopped, and Chill the F Out. So, you know, I think that's one of the reasons I love their products, is just they make me laugh. All right, you guys, what else is coming up? We have one live training with me this year, and it's called Rasa, where we're going to be exploring your emotions. We're going to be exploring the power of your pleasure. We're going to be exploring the power of ease. We're going to be exploring the power of parasympathetic. And my home girl from Portland, Alicia Farhado, I'm 99% sure she's going to be here with us in Charlottesville, teaching us how we can see fight or flight patterns in the bone structure. So if you're a yoga teacher, if you're a practitioner, if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a mom, if you're somebody who's ever worried that your structure spends a lot of time in, if you're like me, overdrive and hypervigilance, if that's you, guys, I think we have like 8 spots left in the training, and it starts in November. So get your booty in. I'm going to put a link to that as well in the show notes. And we may have to find a bigger location because it looks like this one's going to sell out. As always, I am just always so excited to share about Ayurveda School coming up, Level 1 2020. We have so many people interested in this program, and I just feel so excited and honored to be the leader of it and a part of it. And oh my God, you guys, I just came back from California, and was with my friends out there, and one of the gals is in the program, and she was saying, you know, the teachers are amazing, the content's amazing, but the most amazing part is the people that this program attracts, and getting to meet these people and connect with these people. And I just looked at her and I was like, exactly, like this program attracts women who have open hearts. That's just the bottom line. And so we start from there. We start from open heart, and we go from there. So if you are one of those women who are interested in herbs, who are interested in self-healing, who are interested in what these ancient traditional societies have to say about how we can take care of our bodies and this planet, if you're one of those people that know that you have more capacity to love, and you have more capacity in your body for ease and pleasure, if you're one of those mamas, get your booty in the school now, and get in now because it's filling up. And unfortunately, we do have to cap it. So that's my Ayurvedic School spiel. As you know, we've got a link in the show notes where you can take a free 4-hour class with me. So check that out. All right, let's get on to the important topic matter of the day. Oh my Lord, y'all. So I spent 10 days in retreat these past couple weeks, and I needed it. I went through a recent loss, and have been working through some beautiful grief. And I was able to go away and spend 10 days by myself and with some close friends, but mostly by myself. And I was reading this amazing little book called True Self-Love, and it's by Thich Nhat Hanh. And so the podcast today is very much inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh and inspired by my own journey and into self-love. And, I have a whole program, as you know, called the Lineage of Love. And I've always known in my heart that love is it, right? Like all what the Beatles say, what I've been pumping that Madonna song, Love Is All We Need. We're going to put a link to that in the show notes. Love, love, love. We all know it, right? You guys, like, scroll through your Instagram, and if you're like me and following cool people, like, they're saying they're preaching the same sermon. And that is, you gotta love yourself before you can love anybody else and before you can be loved by anyone else. And, I know that, and I play with that. And, but here's the thing. We're imperfect creatures, and we're all on a journey on this earth walk, and we're all learning how to love. And I think we're going to be learning that till the day we take our last little breath. So I want to start this talk off on how to really love yourself, like a how-to, like a practical thing, with just saying, like, you don't arrive, like you don't just like get there and say, you know what, and then I loved myself, and done. It's like this shit is like peeling away the layer after the layer after the layer of the onion. Right? Life is a spiral. It is pulsing out, and you feel the expansion, and you feel the power, and you feel the love, and you feel like, oh my God, all this practice, all this therapy, all this spirituality, I'm getting somewhere. And then you pulse and contract back in, and you're like, humble pie, right? Am I really back here? And I got to start all over again. And that's really where I am. I'm really in this place where I'm like kind of sitting in my own feeling of being reborn. And when you're being reborn, you're a baby, and you can't walk, and you can't talk, and you're learning. And that's really how I'm feeling as I sit with you guys today. And yet there's this part of me that knows, like, yeah, good job, like you're on the path. Because every time I pulse in again, I get to learn something more, and I get to learn how to deeper connect with myself and connect with God and connect with my heart. And so I want to talk about some really, really practical points that I knew and got to relearn from my buddy Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a true master of love. Have you noticed as you scroll through Instagram, everyone's telling you that you need to love yourself, right? And if you've done any self-work, the message is always like, oh yeah, like love yourself, like put your hand on your heart and love yourself. And I was like, you know what? I really want to know how to love myself. It's like, you can't just say it. We need love training, you guys. We need training in how to be a loving human. And the tribe that I tend to attract needs training in how to love ourselves, because I remember when my mom came on one of my retreats to Hawaii, she had never done a training with me before. And at the end, she said in front of everyone, what I've realized in this training is if I could just love myself for like 5 minutes, the way that I love Katie and Mary and Wyatt, who are her children. Like if I could love myself the way I love my children, wow, like that's almost hard for me to even believe. And sometimes when I'm with my students or my family or beloved friends, etc. It's so easy for me to see them and be like, dude, you're doing okay. Like, stop being hard on yourself. Like, I love you. It's so easy for so many of us to love others. And so I think what a lot of us need training, we need training in how to love others, but we also really need training first and foremost in how to love ourselves. And that's the first teaching in Buddhism. It's like self-compassion. So in Buddhism, there are 4 elements to truly loving. So they say. And just as we can apply these 4 principles of how to be truly loving to others, we can also apply them to ourselves. And we really have to start there. And what I've found is as I'm doing that shit to myself, it is so easy to do it for someone else. It's like you kind of have to start with you. So the first one is called Maitri. And Maitri means loving kindness or benevolence. And so it's not just like lip service kindness. It's not just being nice to yourself. It's deeper than that. It's the real desire to make yourself happy. It is not only the desire, but your ability to bring joy to the beloved. And in this case, it's you. And as I sat in my retreat, I thought, man, the ability to bring myself joy, like the ability to let myself experience joy and pleasure. And I contemplated that, and I tend to be someone that has an innate capacity. You may know this about me if you've listened to the podcast for a while or you've come to any of our events. I'm a naturally entertaining person. I'm a good entertainer, so I've been told. And in my family, I kind of played that role. The funny one, the entertaining one, the silly one. And those are all really good things. But I wasn't that way with myself. I wasn't like gently enjoying my humor when I sat by myself. I wasn't like gently enjoying how entertaining I can be when I was with myself. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't giving that gift to me. I was like very much giving that to everybody else. And there's a shadow to that, right? It's like saying, if I'm funny bunny, if I'm entertaining enough, if I'm pleasing enough, if I make you laugh enough and entertain you enough, then guess what? Then you'll love me, right? And then I'll get love. And there's partial truth to that. We need each other. We do entertain each other. We crack each other up, and that's pure and that's beautiful. But if I'm not able to do that to and for myself, then there's a compensation mechanism happening. And so some of the time that I was spending by myself, I was walking a lot in silence and meditating, loosely, you could call it that, looking out at the trees. And I started to watch the fact that I was really funny, and I started to let myself laugh at my own jokes. So Maitri, this ability to bring joy and pleasure to yourself, how much are you really enjoying your personality? Not only as a gift to other people, but as an innate expression of who you are. Another way to bring about pleasure to your own self that I've been working with a lot, and it's been really, really amazing, is this tantric practice of the gateways of your 5 senses. And so even just right now, as you're listening to the podcast, my hand just naturally went to my thigh, and I'm just giving my leg a little rub. We do these little things innately without any kind of pre-plan or cognition. So just this tactile sense of my hand running up against my leg. It's not sexual. I mean, everything's sexual, right? But it's just pleasurable. How much do you let yourself touch yourself with that sense of, I deserve this feeling? Looking around right now, I see in this moment the spearmint and the sage and the sunflowers in my little herb garden. And there's a bee that's enjoying the purple buds that are coming off of the spearmint. And the gateway of my sight, I get to experience this pleasure in my garden, experiencing the light as it comes through the Saturday morning sun, the feeling, right, of the breeze, the smell of dirt, wet Virginia dirt after the summer rain. And, we can go through these senses. And the gateways of the 5 senses is something you can come to all day long. It doesn't have to be this formal meditation practice. It's a way of bringing joy and pleasure to myself through these beautiful gates of my senses. Another way that we love ourselves is by really, really deeply looking. And what Thich Nhat Hanh says is that you cannot love someone else and you cannot love yourself unless you deeply get yourself, understand yourself. There's a word in Sanskrit, svadhyaya. It means self-study. And it's not self-study like self-criticism. It's like self-study all right, why do I do the weird shit that I do? Where's that coming from? Because when you figure out why you do what you do, why you go to the places that you go, even if they may not be the best for you, when you figure out why you do that, you have this next thing. Number 2, in the love training, you have this thing the Buddhists call karuna, which means compassion. When you deeply understand yourself, you'll know you're getting there because you start to have compassion for yourself. You start to go, oh man, that's why I have that addiction. That's why I have that weird habit. That's why I keep dating these people. That's why I go shopping online. That's why, etc., etc. That's why I go to these negative thought forms constantly. Whatever it is, I know why. And so compassion, karuna, doesn't just mean I feel oh, poor baby. It doesn't mean that. I mean, there's an element of, oh, poor baby, right? But compassion is also our capacity to ease our own suffering. How beautiful is that? To ease our own pain. And so, how do I ease my own pain? And a lot of it is taking the brakes, putting the brakes on the part of you that's looking for what's wrong with you. And putting the gas on the part of you that sees what's so right. Not only with you, but this moment right now. All of us have been trained to use a part of our faculty that is very, very useful if you're an animal in the wild, but not so useful as we evolve our consciousness and our awareness, and that is the what's wrong attention. Steve Hoskinson, who's the founder and CEO of Learn OI, Organic Intelligence, he calls it the what's wrong attention. And so kind of moving into what's right, what's actually right, will help ease our pain. Thich Nhat Hanh says to meditate. It's not to sit tall with your spine straight and never think. It's to look deeply into the heart of things. The third element of truly loving is called mudita, and it means joy. Thich Nhat Hanh says, if there is no joy in your love, it is not true love. And that one's big, right? How much of, especially when we think about loving other people, how much of your love right now with the people that are in your life that you say that you love, how much of that love is joy? And how much of it is suffering? And the last of these is upeksha, freedom. Freedom. So in loving ourselves, we'll know that we're becoming more loving with ourselves when we ease up off I keep saying the brake, when we ease off of the part of us that is harming ourselves. When we give ourselves more room, when we give ourselves more freedom. Thich Nhat Hanh says that in true love, you attain freedom. That through loving yourself, you become more free. And so he says to ask your beloved, dear one, do you have enough space in your heart and all around you? And you can say that to your beloved today. I encourage you. Go home and some of y'all need to go home and say to your man, beloved, do you have enough space around your heart and around you? Am I giving you enough space? It's a scary question, it can be, to ask your beloved. Love is increasing our capacity to listen and to just be with people. And we can't do that unless we've taken time to be with ourselves. And so for me, throughout the day, I'll just stop and I'll say, okay, I'm just going to be here with not only myself and what I'm thinking and experiencing and emoting, right? But what's with me right now? You know, the biggest suffering I think that we're experiencing is the fact that most of the time, our body and our mind are completely in different places. Have y'all noticed that? I really have been acutely, painfully sometimes aware of the way that my body will be in this beautiful place, like my backyard or my office or the pool or with friends or with my nephew or wherever, right? My body will be in this beautiful place and my mind will be in the past or the future. And so love is kind of the opposite of that. Love is being here. What all the teachers are saying, being here right now. So the best way to love yourself is to actually take time to go into the experience of being your body, being where it is right now. And that's super hard if you haven't practiced a lot. So again, coming back to these gateways of the five senses, which is something that we explore in Lineage of Love and in Ayurveda School, we really go there, right? Bringing your body and your mind back into the same place at the same time. I want to leave you guys today with a couple of magical mantras that Thich Nhat Hanh offers us. You can practice these sometime today or now. And the first one is that you put your hand on your heart and you say to yourself, dear one, or sweet one, or my beloved, I am really here for you. And you just say that with your whole heart and your whole mind and your whole body over and over again until you feel it. You feel, I'm really here for you. Whatever arises within the field of this moment right now, beloved, I am right here for you. To be loved is to be seen. And this last mantra, dear one, I know that you are here and it makes me very happy. You can do this with yourself. Dear one, I know that you're here and it makes me really happy. And what's super fun to do with yourself is like you start to feel the benefits of that love and appreciation, and then you can do it on everything else. You can look up at the moon and say, dear one, I know that you are here and it makes me very happy. You can look at a flower and say, dear one, I know that you are here and it makes me really happy. You can look at your friend or your coworker or your husband or your wife and you can say, dear one, I know that you are here and it makes me really happy. And if you want to get really mystical, do it silently. Sometime today, start walking around, looking at things and looking at people, especially those close to you, because those are the ones we forget. Dear one, I know that you are here and it makes me very, very happy. Podcast listeners, it's Katie. I'm signing off for today. We thank Apothecary for being our sponsor. And I thank you, dear listener, for being a part of this. I know that you are here. I know that you are out there in time and space, and it makes me very, very happy. Have a beautiful, beautiful day or night, and we'll see you.
Kote phul apon sukhe kote phul